All
Hi,
right.
Ameerah. It's nice to meet you.
Hi,
Hi,
Ameerah.
lovely to meet you all.
You see, we got Rachel Riley here from BB12 and BB13 fame. Obviously, Hannah from season 23, taking you way back to the past, season 3. Jason here. Ameerah, we want to welcome you to the Big Brother family. How are you feeling today?
Thank you.
It was quite a blind.
I haven't quite recovered.
Okay.
I'm still working on it. I haven't even been to bed yet. So I'm like still all in my mind, putting pieces together, putting conversations together. It's like insane right now.
Well, you look amazing. You look beautiful and stunning
Thank
as
you.
usual.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Yes.
And having a member of the cookout here, which has been something that, as we watch the feeds, has been a topic here. Hannah, I mean, you've got to wonder about how that impacted gameplay in season 24.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the live feeds, we did see you share your sentiments about the cookout quite a bit. And last summer, when the 6 of us did what we did, we were always cognizant of the fact that our gameplay would probably have a drastic impact on the way that Black House guests approached the game in future seasons. So with that being said, do you feel like the cookout made the game harder for you, easier for you, or like it had little to no effect on your experience or even on the social dynamics of the house?
I'm not sure because I'm not sure what kind of effect it had on me. I know that it had a mental effect on me. First of all, I love the cookout, super proud of you all. Like, great. It needed to be done. But however, from my game point coming to this house, I was so afraid that I was going to be a target just because of what happened with the cookout last season. So immediately, like even before entering the house, in my mind, like I'm afraid to even be too close to any of like the Black people in the house. Like, I'm like, I don't want to get too close with them. I don't want people to start targeting Black people. Even if I wasn't too close to them, I'm afraid that we're still going to be targeted because they were afraid that that's going to be an alliance. And so this was something that was constantly going through my mind. And as you all watched, I watched Black people get put on the block quite a bit, so like quickly on this season. And so I was every time in my mind, in my head, I'm like, like I didn't know what to do. Like I see like these 2 Black people up there, at one point it was Taylor and Terrence. And like in my mind, like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is really awkward. And I'm like, is it being done on purpose? Is there a color thing happening? And so it was just the mental aspect of the game that it affected me personally, where I was just constantly thinking through these things. And, I was afraid to say things out loud sometimes because it backfired on me. For example, I said to Paloma, 2 people are on the block, am I next? And she got upset and she went back to Daniel, and then Daniel had to talk to Mondi. So it was like when I did say things out loud, it kind of spiraled. So I was always afraid of like what was going on, with the people of color in the house.
Gotcha. No, thank you for answering that question with such honesty and candor. And that kind of leads me to my next question. So Turner, in his veto speech ceremony, talked about the mistreatment of certain house guests, namely Taylor. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like you saw that while you were still in the house? Do you agree with him? And what is your opinion on that being part of the reason as to why she was kept off the block in week 3?
So I have a lot of thoughts on that. I do believe, like, especially in this last week, it turned into bullying against Taylor because a lot of the things that were going on was a lot of hearsay, and I contributed to like hearing things and running with it. But this was the first week where I was actually in the room where something happened that people were blowing up out of proportion. So it was my first time witnessing it firsthand. And so I did believe that there was bullying going on, and I understood that. I think what was surprising for me was that there was very obvious bullies in the house, and I couldn't understand why Terrence and I were put on the block. I felt like this was definitely something that should have been addressed, but why not address it by putting the people on the block who were, doing this major bullying? I couldn't understand. And so I even went to Turner after the fact to figure out like what was going on. And he was like, yeah, there's bullying, but I couldn't put them on the block right now. So I just ended up going up with you and Terrence. And so I didn't feel like the bullying, he didn't go with the plan because of the bullying aspect and it touched him on his past, but I just didn't understand how the bullying issue was solved. Like, why weren't those people placed on the block? Why wasn't a team meeting called where we could discuss it? The name, like we couldn't, it was never really solved. It's like these people kind of got away with everything that we're doing, like the major bullying and embarrassing moments within the house. So while I did contribute to it, absolutely, I will admit that I was just surprised because I just felt like there was bigger targets that were contributing to the bullying.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for answering my questions, Ameerah. Jason, Rachel.
Well, I want to say this, and I know that you haven't been on social media yet, and you said you haven't slept. It's something I would sort of recommend for a little while. Just stay away from it, because people have their own opinions, but they haven't gone into that house and they haven't experienced the pressure cooker of it. You're part of the BB family, as we just said a little while ago, and we're going to embrace you, even if it's the dysfunctional family that it is. And there's a time and place where you guys can figure out some of the things that happen in the house and work through it. And we want that. We want everybody to come together and have the big hug at the I don't know if they do wrap parties anymore.
Yeah.
We've heard that's not a thing. But let's get to some fun stuff here. Is there anybody now that you're rooting for and saying, okay, this is the person I really want to see take this game?
So I'm actually rooting for like my OGs in the post pack. I really stood by them. I'm a ride or die. And like, I'm rooting for Monty, Michael, and Kyle. Like, they did me wrong, but I feel really good about, like, I feel like they are some really strong competitors. My best friend in that, like, who I was closest with were obviously Alyssa and Jasmine, but I'm not sure they can take it home based upon their skill set. So I think I'm rooting for my members of post pack in this.
Okay. And you don't feel bad or upset about Monty sort of saying, see you later?
I do feel upset, but you know what? You have to separate it or else I'm going to lose my mind. So I know, like, personal versus game, I am here. I get it. Fine. Although I feel like it wasn't really best versus game, but whatever. But yeah, no, I'm able to separate that and I'm still rooting for them.
I'm a huge fan of the show. I'm glued to live feeds. I'm all about Twitter. So I just have so many questions, but what's your perspective of the Leftovers Alliance? Julie kind of revealed that to you when you sat down with her for your eviction interview. Were you surprised by that group of 7 working together? Do you think that there's longevity for them? What are your thoughts?
Yes, I was very surprised. Wait, so it's 7 of them? Okay, so is it, it's Kyle, Monty, Joseph, Michael, Brittany, Taylor. Who's the 7th?
Turner.
Oh yeah, Turner. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I was very surprised. I was looking for the pieces, so it was nice to see them there for me. I was like, okay, there it is. But I was surprised because, first of all, the name The Leftovers implied that they were left over, like left out of the group. Hello, Monty, Kyle, and Michael were definitely not, feeling that way. They were in alliances. Michael was in all the alliances that I was in. So I was definitely confused as to where that was coming from. But I understood Brittany's perspective on it. She actually lied to me in the very beginning. She told Pooch that I was trying to get him out, and like that threw me. I didn't trust her from the very beginning. So I understood why she felt left out. Taylor, obviously, and then Turner, because he lost Pooch and he lost Paloma. So I understood some of their perspectives, but some of them I was like, what the heck? We already had a pretty good alliance. I mean, I guess Alyssa kind of threw it off, but yeah, that is what I was very shocked to see half of Poe's alliance was working against me. And I'm sitting here like feeding them information like an idiot.
Welcome to Big Brother.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I have some fun ones for you. Okay, so this or that. We love playing this game. Jousting or mermaid?
Definitely jousting. I love the jousting comp. That mermaid comp, I was so hot. My legs were stuck together. They were soaking wet. And I felt like a fish out of water. And then I see like Michael beside me, who's like swimming like it's nothing. And I'm just like flopping around. I'm like, yeah, so definitely the jousting. That was fun.
So no mermaid costume for Halloween this year?
Absolutely not.
Perfect. Huffman's ice cream in Westminster or Big Brother's sloppy pie?
Do you know I never got put on slop? Oh, so you're talking about the pie
from your HOH.
Definitely Hoffman's. That's my favorite ice cream. I can't believe even when you just named it, I was like, she's not talking about my ice cream brand, is she?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about your ice cream.
Hoffman's is so good. It is homemade. It is delicious. The pie that I tasted in the house was also good, but it tasted like it was just straight Cool Whip with like flavoring. So I'm going to go with Hoffman's.
I love that. All right. So working in the BB house or teaching kids, and because sometimes we know the Big Brother house players can act like kids.
Very true. I think working the BB house was more fun for me because I got to come out of my shell a bit more than being a teacher.
Okay. All right. So easier high pressure tech jobs or the BB pressure cooker?
I'm going to go with the tech job. Definitely the tech job. This BB thing is not no joke.
That's true. Well, I think you already answered it, but I said the girls or the 6-pack or the pose pack. I guess you have like 20 alliances you were in.
You know what? Look, I didn't know when to say no. I prioritized them. I'm going to go with pose pack. I felt like we were strong and we were going to make it to the end.
All right. Well, Ameerah, we really appreciate your time. From Hannah, Rachel, and me, welcome to the family, the Big Brother family.
Yes.
And yeah, just enjoy the ride the rest of this season, because it's going to be fun to watch what happens with your house guests.
Yes.
And if you need anything, you always have us.
Yeah,
please
You have
reach
us
out.
as a resource to reach out to. If you have questions or you're having a hard time, you want to talk to someone, we're more than happy to like jump in, and we've all been there, and we know how it can be. And especially Hannah, she just did it.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Ameerah.
Bye, Ameerah.
Bye, guys.
It was
Bye,
great to meet you.
Ameerah.
Take care.
Great to
Thank
meet
you.
you too.
Check out past seasons of The Secret Alliance. We have interviews with so many Big Brother legends on this channel. Those videos are just waiting for you.